Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Aquarian Mind podcast. Today's podcast, episode number 278. I'm your host, Jamel Crothers. It's Wednesday, motivation and inspiration. And I know you guys are wondering, what am I going to talk about today? Because every week I somehow find something inquisitive to talk about. So today we're delving into the mathematics of life. And I know what you're thinking. What in the world does that mean, and what does that entail? All right, so before I get started, I want to give a shout out to BigBoy in the neighborhood. He is a podcast host / VJ, and he's been in the industry for over 30 years, and I decided that this topic was a great idea for a podcast. So he was the one who brought it up in an interview that he did with hip hop artist and entrepreneur Jeezy. His used to be called Young Jeezy, but he dropped the Young a few years ago. And he is a hip hop artist that has been in the game for over 15 years. He did mostly, trap music, trap rap, but with a message. He's a really solid artist. But anyway, point is that he was doing an interview with BigBoy, and BigBoy was talking about the mathematics of life, which means addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Now, he had his thoughts and how, he said it. I'm going to kind of, put it in perspective from my mindset and how I think about it. Now, for addition to your life, you want to add things that have value to you, whether that's the right people around you. I'll just use that as a perfect example. I don't want to use too many examples, but you want to add people that are going to bring value to your life in whatever you're doing and whatever goals you're trying to accomplish and whatever goals you're trying to reach. You don't want to have people that are hindering you or questioning you or doubting you or putting certain negative connotations in your mind to have you, questioning yourself and your worth. So you want to add certain things. Now, if you're in business, you want to add the right business partners. If you are in sales, you want to add the right clients that fit into your company and what you're trying to do. If you're a doctor, you want to add the right people to your office that are going to bring a fun, warm, and engaging environment, which is going to allow you to do your work. If you're a lawyer, you want to add the right paralegals to your team and make sure that they're on the same page as you. So whatever career that you're doing, you want to add the most important components and make sure that those things are in place, which will allow you to fulfill what you need to fulfill and grow, but it also allows them to feel fulfilled in what they're doing in regards to what you're doing. All right? So there's that component. Subtraction. Obviously, you guys know where I'm going with this. You want to subtract anything that is not going to bring you any sort of purpose or drive into what you're doing. And that could be people, that can be business partners. It also can be social media. It can be anything. You can subtract family members that are not on the same page as you. That is so important. Making sure that you're removing things that aren't part of your agenda or part of what you're trying to do in regards to your purpose in life, right? Because the last podcast, I delved into whether we fulfill our purpose in life. Now I want to bring in the mathematics of life and how that works. So I have subtracted friends from my life. They aren't contributions to where I'm going in life. Now, don't get me wrong. There are friends that I have and associates that I have that I know I can't take with me as I grow and as I elevate, right? I already know that people are watchers on social media. I know who they are, and trust me, I keep receipts. But you want to subtract the ones that aren't really bringing any sort of major value to your life. That is huge. That is so, so, so important. Multiplying. You want to multiply anything that is going to help you grow from a longevity standpoint. Now, you can multiply something now and it may not work 5 years from now. So, you can be in the moment now, but you've also got to think about down the road and whether you multiplying what you're multiplying is going to work. That can be people that you're hiring, to do what you're doing, or it doesn't necessarily have to be an investment. Not always, but I'm quite sure that you all are thinking that way. Like, well, you can multiply your income or whatever the case is. That's great. And yes, we all want to multiply our income. That's great, right? And it doesn't mean we have to strive for being a millionaire. Trust me, I don't care to be a millionaire personally. For me, I don't really have a set amount of money that I want to make. I just feel like whatever it's meant to be will be. But I will say, I will say, I like to make a good amount in what I'm doing, and I want to do speaking engagements and things like that down the road. So I have my goals, but I want to multiply what I'm doing. So it means that I am doing things now that will allow me to multiply things later. And the last one is divide. Sometimes you've got to divide your tasks to other people, or you have to divide certain things into increments of things that you need to do. I'll use an example for me. There is a long list of things that I want to do for myself. There's a long list of things that I want to do for the year, right? And we're a little over halfway through the year right now as you're listening to this. We've got a few months left in the year, right? And there's a good friend of mine, shout out to Thurston Smith. He is a very, very, very motivating mentor of mine. I have a few mentors here, and what he does is he does videos and things of that nature on social media. He posts things on his stories on Instagram, and one of his questions was a few days ago, what are your goals for this year? And are you close to fulfilling them? Something to that effect. And I said, the big goal for me right now is in progress, and it will be completed on December 26th. That goal is to publish 12 books this year. And I've been publishing my one book each month. It's my Alphabet City series that focuses on the inner cities of America. The point is that I had to divide that, right? As far as my books go, one book each month, right? To grow this podcast, I know that I have to continually promote myself. I have to continually tell people when I meet people, hey, I have, a podcast, I have my own website. I'm on all of these different platforms. It's posting on social media. It's, little things that I'm doing along the way, right? Sometimes I have a lot of tasks to do in a month. So what I have to do is I have to divide certain things and say, okay, what's more important for me to do right now than the other things, right? So another example of this is I am planning on doing another event, for my books, in order to meet more people and things of that nature. So that takes precedent right now than my plan to record audiobooks, right? So I can't do audiobooks right now. I have to push that back and push that to the side and say, okay, I've got to focus on this book event right now. So I have to divide everything out. Okay, what books am I going to do? I got to organize things with the bookstore owners, the day of it, what time, what's the space going to be like, all of that stuff, right? So that's what I mean by dividing, things, dividing your tasks in order to fulfill what you want to do. So that is the mathematics of life. And I could go on and I can talk way more about this, but I just want to give you an idea of the mathematics of life. So my question to you is, how will you utilize the mathematics of life and the analogies that I have just used to apply it to your life? How will you use addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division in order to grow and elevate yourself, not only for the rest of this year, but next year too? All right, guys, that's my podcast for today. I thank you guys for listening. As always, the website, theaquarianmindpodcast.com, and I'm on pretty much all the major platforms. So if you're following me and listening to me on the platforms such as Spotify, Apple, and all of those great things, thank you. Continue. Please drop a review on my website if you want. Please drop a review on Apple or Spotify or wherever you listen to my podcast. So enjoy the rest of your week. Be good, everyone, and go accomplish your goals.